Alright, welcome back to part 2 of the games with the Stonescar Jito deck. Let's find another opponent to smash face. So far the deck performed admirably at 3-0, crushing 3 opponents in quick succession. 2 of them being former top 30 Masters League player Impulsi and his 3-color, I think, obelisk deck. That's a pretty solid hand, good enough to not redraw and risk getting something worth. We have a 1-drop, we have all our influence, and we have some interaction, and the turn 3 play with our 3 power, so it's pretty good. And we can kill the initiate with our torch before it gets him a turn 3 Titan, which is fairly critical. So I think what we want to do here is actually interesting. I mean, we could just play this, torch this and attack, and see if he wants to trade. Which chances are he probably won't, because he needs it for his Titan next turn. Then we get to Sangua. And then we have Rapid Shot next turn. The other option is to just torch this guy, attack, and if he blocks, which is likely, then we just Rapid Shot, deal 5 to him and kill this guy, which makes us a bit exposed to a turn to a Titan in 2 turns, because we have no good way of dealing with it. Plus it doesn't give us Sangua, which is why I think that... Oh, damn, I completely forgot to touch this guy. That's awful. Now he's like definitely gonna block. That was so bad. I talked you guys through how it was supposed to do, how I was supposed to do it, and then completely blundered. Maybe we are lucky and he blocks here or doesn't block at all. No, that is pretty bad. Yeah, I guess now we have to do the thing that I talked about first. So we just trade and then torch this guy. It's not optimal, but yeah, I completely punted here. Because he might not have blocked the other way around, like I said and expected. Another minor blunder, yeah, should have attacked first to potentially Rapid Shot, Knife Jack. But then again, I might not be able to do that, because I might need Rapid Shot to beat Titan with Sangua. So it's probably okay that I didn't leave Rapid Shot up, because it would have been a mistake to use it. Because while the tokens can't beat Titan with Rapid Shot, Sangua can, and the other 2 guys, like the actual units the opponent want to block. So here we basically just throw away a grenade in to make our Sangua free to play and deal 2 damage to the opponent, which is a solid rate actually. Now only Sangua can beat Titan, which is fine. We're still just gonna attack with everything. If he blocks one of the small guys, he takes more damage. If he blocks Sangua, he loses to Titan, we gain 8. And he just wasted his entire 5th turn playing Obelisk, which is terrible in this matchup. Let's assume he had no other choice. And we just drew the 1-off Annihilate and got rewarded for the 3-1 split that I theorized for the deck. And there were like quite a bunch of situations like that already before the video when I played the deck, where I was happy for the 3-1 split. That's annoying, but manageable, I think, in this state. Let's see. If we attack with everything, he's gonna block, 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 block. Kill this, he loses everything. Takes 1, goes to 9. We lose everything too. He has 1 card left. I think that is probably bad for us, because we have queen. So I think best course of action here. Can attack with this and hope to deal like 4 with the overwhelm, or attack with this and gain 8 instead. I think this is better. That I don't think I want to attack with more than 1. Just hope to draw like the force power next turn, like non-depleted, so no seed please, and then we should win the game. If we don't draw the power next turn, there's a lot of cards that might not get us far enough, but the double block here is really good for us. Not sure how wise it was to double block here. Like against removal, all that happens is that he takes 2 instead of 0 if I removal after the block. If he double blocks and I don't have, and what I have is not removal but rapid shot like I did, he completely gets blown out and takes the damage. So yeah, that was a pretty bad line for him, all in all. Got to kill this guy, he's out of cards. Can we attack? Not really, he gets to eat this and this, so he takes 3, goes to 5, and we get our board crippled. I mean, we get Sangua back in play, but since we don't trade with either, it's not worth it. Like, if he could only block in a way where he gets to eat 1 and trade 1, then I might do it to get the Sangua out, because then we would at least reduce his board. But that way just puts us more back than what Sangua would add to the board, basically. So it's not worth it. Well, okay, I guess that's gonna beat us. That's like the one card we wanted him to not draw there. Let's see how far this gets us. That might actually have been just in time enough to have a shot at still pulling off this game. Because he has to do quite a bunch of blocking actually. We're gonna lose 3 units, he's gonna lose 3 units as well, and take 2 damage, so that's alright. It's a bit unfortunate that we cannot get through 2 units through, because I would really like to play the Sangua here. But he seems to go for the trump block, so we can't. But at least we get to reduce some of the Yetis. We basically traded 3 of our units for 3 Yetis, which is a solid deal, because it's actually pretty risky for him to attack to draw cards. And yeah, he most likely might only attack with 1. But yeah, I think he should attack with both, because he's gonna draw into blockers most likely. So he decided to attack with both. So we have to hope he gets a bit unlucky on his draws. Oh, he plays Marizen's Disciple. It's not that common, and actually pretty good. So yeah, this game is basically over now. Alright. We managed to draw out of it. Second scouting party was brutal, with us missing the force power on the queen on curve. I mean, if we hit the queen on curve, then we still win, but if we don't, and he draws the party, then party is over for us. 3-1. Next opponent. But yeah, I guess this showed how hard the deck is to stop. The opponent went initiate into unit, into Titan, into obelisk, into party, and only the second scouting party was what finally was enough to put a stop to our deck, and even that only because we didn't hit our force power the turn before. So yeah, pretty impressive. Stack is really hard to stop. Like, one of the few cards that really punishes it early is a well-timed Lightning Storm, which not any of the current top decks run, unless you consider Stonescar a top deck by now. They run some, not sure how many they usually run. We have to mulligan this because we have no second unit to enable this. We have double 3 without the third power, no turn 2 play, and a Suffocate we can't play, so we have to mulligan this. But yeah, Lightning Storm is like the one card that is really good at helping to stop this deck, but even that card is beatable depending on what else that deck is doing. Dirtily Inspire. So this seems to be Armory. One of the fewer cases where Instigator indirectly punishes us because we can't Sanguine the turn, but then again, if it was a one drop, we would have wasted 1 power, kind of. So basically our Sanguine would have cost 1 power instead of 0 power in that spot. So that was a pretty nice top deck in this spot actually. And all of a sudden the game looks pretty bad for Armory. And yeah, I think Armory is like probably a ridiculously good matchup for this deck, because what they are doing matches up very poorly against Board Flood, and Harsh Rule is just too slow to beat us, especially with how little the deck can do prior to Harsh Rule to stop us from bashing their face in. So 8, yeah, I think we just cast it and call it quits here. Didn't count if it's enough, but yeah, it's enough. I thought it should be enough, and even if it's not enough, I want to use it here to not get blown out by removal next turn or whatever, and just get the damage in because he barely has any blockers. And who knows, maybe he's running Plague or whatever. Plague plus like a torch to blow out our rapid shot or whatever. So it's just safer to use it there against Armory. And one more opponent, 4-1. And soon Diamond 3, I think. Alright, so that looks like a... Do I want to keep it? Like, we can't play turn 1 drone, that's so awkward. A hand would be so great if this would be a Seed or a Fire Sigil. Actually, I think on the draw I want to redraw this, because if we don't draw into an undepleted red source, we're gonna be so far behind that we might not be able to recover. And yeah, this is another hand where I think playing this over Jito turn 1 is better, because if we don't draw a second 1-drop, I'd rather play Instigator next turn, and then Knife Jack deals more damage over a couple of turns than a turn 1 Jito with no follow-up 1-drop to charge to. And yeah, the same goes if the only 1-drop we draw is another Jito. Since Instigator is just a better play here. But once again, I should have attacked first and see if he's willing to annihilate the Knife Jack before I show him the Instigator. Because... sorry about that. Because he might actually not think we play Instigator and we are all 1-drops, and then killing Knife Jack is about as good as any and saves him to life. So yeah, That was a bit loose on my part. Jito Assault. He's probably on Stonescar, because I think I played him a bunch of times and so far he always was on Stonescar. So I doubt this time is any different. Actually think that this is a good line here. Deals 1 damage less this turn, but deals 1 damage more after the first turn. Needs to be answered by removal, unlike Torch, and this deck plays very few good Torch targets, because unless they play like a 3/3 Champion of Chaos, Torch is not very good. And that was kind of the perfect draw after the Found Bloodcaster. But yeah, torching our Knife Drake here was definitely the right decision in my opinion. If you know what your opponent is on. And Torch is just not very impressive against Stonescar for various reasons. Rather have a Knife Drake in play than a Torch in hand. And he is Power and Influence screwed, which is one way these clunky 3 faction decks eventually get punished, and that's part of why aggro decks are so good, because they punish opponents for their greedy deck building. Not sure how much power that deck runs, if it runs sufficient power or too little power like a lot of decks that I usually see do. But that's usually more for like the aggro decks that run too little power, because people think aggro decks can usually get away with 25 power and most can't, aside from like Jito. But yeah, the mid-range and control decks usually run more decent amounts of power from lists that I saw. Alright, deck went 5-1. I think the games were a pretty good showcase of how the deck plays out. I think I could show a couple of really nice spots and lines of play and lessons that are important with the deck, like the outside the box line of torching your Knife Drake to get it back with Shadowlands Guide against a more controlling deck and a stumbling opponent where Torch is not very good and stuff like that. So yeah, as usual, if you found this series entertaining, helpful, and or informative, please like and subscribe and follow me on social media for future updates. I appreciate any support. I am close to my first 100 subscribers on my channel, which is really great. Thanks everyone. Just a few more to go. So like the first small threshold in the life of my channel. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.